And now, views and interviews from the world of technology. Coming up, Sky News Tech Talk with Krista Holloman.
My name is Andrzejewski. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Foodspotting, which is an app and a site that lets you find and rate dishes instead of just restaurants. So when you launch Foodspotting, the first thing you see is just the best dishes nearby. So when you visit a new city or when you visit a neighborhood, it's like a lens that lets you see all the great dishes that you have to try in this area. And then if you go to a specific restaurant, you can look up that restaurant and then you can see what's been most recommended there. And with every recommendation, we require our users to post a photo, hence the t-shirt. And that makes it a lot easier to make a decision about food too, because it's like looking in the bakery window and it's just like, oh, that looks good. It's kind of like seafood, eat it. It's that simple.
Where did the idea come from?
Yeah, so Foodspotting was inspired by travel. I went to Japan a few years ago, and I learned about just all these interesting dishes that I hadn't really heard about growing up in the Midwest in the U.S. And I wanted people to know about these dishes that are out there. And I originally had the idea to create a book that would be like a field guide for food. But then I realized it would be so much more useful to have an app that let you not only learn about new dishes that you should try, but then find them locally. So we were the first app to focus on specifically rating and recommending dishes. There were a lot of restaurant review apps. There's always been a lot of restaurant finding apps, or just local business finding apps. But as far as apps that focus on dishes, we were the first. There are a couple of sites out there before us with that first app. Since we launched, though, there's probably 20 or 30 or more competitors that have popped up in this dish rating space, and there's just a growing interest in food and food startups. We were raising money about a year ago, and nobody was doing a food startup at that time. And now there's food startup conferences and food startup events, and we're just like, what happened? It's been this explosion.
So how do you make your money then? What's the business model like?
So we're really excited about giving local businesses and restaurants and food brands a way to reach people that aren't just coupon seekers, not just posting it into a coupon app where you find cheap people, but food seekers, people who care about good food. And we're starting to build out platforms and tools that let restaurants and food businesses reach these hungry people. And I just think there's just some great opportunities for restaurants promoting themselves in ways that aren't necessarily just coupons.
What's been some of the biggest hurdles that you've had to overcome the last year or so?
I think one of the biggest challenges has been just proving that Foodspotting is not just a niche thing. We went out the door wanting to appeal to people who already take pictures of their food and already care a lot about food. And so our whole brand has been around food spotting, taking pictures of your food, sharing them online. But we don't want people to think of food spotting as like a food photo sharing community or something really niche like that. We want it to be the next Yelp, the next Urban Spoon when you're looking for food in particular. And I think that one of the biggest challenges is reaching the mass market, not reaching just niche market and techies.
Sky News Tech Talk in association with First Tuesday, the UK's largest network for high-growth technology companies and their investors. For free membership, visit firsttuesday.org.uk.